Today I'm going to show you how to make a knob jig like this. So the basic way that I start is that I took two pieces of plywood or any piece of sheet wood that you might have. I just cut them to the same size and I put 4 screws in the corners just to keep them together for now. I haven't put any glue in between yet or anything of the sort. Now the main idea I drew out on a paper like this. Now the center circle would be the size of the piece of wood that I cut out of another piece of wood. It's a basically circle cutting jig, and it's a circle cutting jig of the size I prefer. This is a comfortable size. I drew then a circle with a compass like this, and then through the center mark of the circle I drew 2 lines, which is basically 90 degrees towards each other. And then I did the same on the piece of wood here, drew the same circle with the compass, also with the center line, 2 lines which are 90 degrees with regards to one another. Now in order to, like on the drawing, to make a knob with 6 basically holes or 6 cutouts, you're going to need to divide the circle into 6 parts. Now the 6th part is a bit easier one. You take the same diameter or radius of the circle. You then start on one of the edges, make marks on either side like this. Same from the opposite end, like so. And you will then see that these 6 marks are all the same distance from each other. I then only drew lines across the opposing corners, and that would then be the 6-sided one. Now, because I want to make different style knobs with this one jig, I want to make, for instance, one with 6 cutouts, also one with 5, or with 4, or with 3. Now, it's the 3 and the 6 one would be quite easy. It would only be the 6-sided diagram that I drew here, and every second one would have a cutout. That would be 3 then, that should be fine. And the 4 one would also be fine. It would also be the 4 different corners, which is not a problem. So the only one that we need to draw another diagram of would be the 5 cornered one, or the one with 5 cutouts. Now, how to divide the circle into 5? Now, on one of these lines, I basically take the compass, set it to a bit longer than half of the radius of the big circle, and then make a half circle like that. Then on the outer part of the circle with the same radius that I just used, make another one, just so that it crosses lines with the previous arch that I drew. Now once that is done, I'm going to take a ruler like this and basically just draw a line through that shape that I just did over there, or just drew over there. Once you've got that line, you're basically going to use that point where it crosses the center line of the circle, put your compass in there and adjust it so that the pencil point is on the top end of the circle, which would be the 90-degree offset line through the center of the circle that you just drew. So you're going to take that radius and then draw it through the opposite side of the line on which you put this point. In other words, just like this. Now once you've got that point where that arch crosses the line, you then take your compass, put it on that point, and then adjust it again to the top part of the circle where the other line crosses. And that would then be the distance for a pentagon, basically. So you're going to start on the top end of the circle on a point, make a mark on the circle there, make a mark on the circle on the other side, and then taking those crossing marks, making 2 more marks on the opposite sides, and you will then see that those sides would all be the same. So just to get a bit more clarity, we're going to draw the pentagon through the marks we just made, like this, just so you can see that it's a completely true pentagon, and all sides are going to be the same length. Once that is done, like this, you've got a pentagon which has 5 sides. Now once that is done, you obviously want lines out of each of these corners as well. And now to get a true line, you need to take each corner of the pentagon like that one. And here's a good example. There's a point of the pentagon. Now the opposite edge needs to be divided in half, which is already done by this bottom part of the hexagon, or the straight line, 90-degree one through the circle. And this line would be the straight line. I want to do that one. So basically just going to take these sides of the pentagon, divide them in half like so. And then obviously just draw the line through the small, just make them the opposite corner of the pentagon like this. Now at this stage, you'll start seeing there's a lot of lines on this piece of wood here, and that's just because we've got so many shapes that we're cutting into one piece. Now let's start marking the lines with a pencil for now, just so that we know what's going on. In the beginning, we've got the square, which would be for 4 marks, so we'll mark this one with a 4. All 4 of them would be marked with a 4. The second one would be for the hexagon or the pentagon. Now this is also the top end of the pentagon, so we're going to mark this one with a 5 as well. And then this is the other end, so we're going to mark this one with a 5. Another end of the pentagon, going to mark it with a 5. Another one, mark this one with a 5. And to get the idea, we're just going to mark all 5 corners with a 5. The next one would be the hexagon, which is once again this one on top, because this is a common point. I'm going to mark it with a 6. And then the next point would be this old line here. So that would be the 6. The next one would be this one over here. That would be this one. My mistake. I'm getting confused with my own lines now. That would also be a part of the hexagon. The next one would be the bottom again. So we'll mark that with a 6 as well. And then this one over here, once again. That would be 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And then the last one would be this one up here, which would be 6 of the pentagon. You'll see I marked them out on the drawing over here as well. Beforehand, I did it on a piece of paper. It was much easier to sort it all out on the paper beforehand. Now, once I've got all these markings, I actually forgot one. I forgot the 3. Now, obviously, the 3 would be the common point on top. And then every second one that says 6, so this would also be a 3. This one skipped, and this would also be a 3. So that would be every second one for the 3. So now we've got a circle with 3 cutouts, 4 cutouts, 5 cutouts, and 6 cutouts, which is a very complex drawing at this stage. Now, in order to do this properly, we're now going to take a smaller circle, like you can see here, at whichever diameter you choose, or you wish, or you desire. You're going to take that and going to make it in different spaces around this circle. Yeah, I made an example. This one on the side, on the center line, is going to be for the 4-hole knob jig. This one is going to be for the 5 and 6-hole one, and this is going to be for the 3-hole one. Made 3 different cutouts in 3 different spaces, so that it's not all on top of each other. So we're going to now first start. I made them different diameters from the center, just so that the more holes there are, the further more outwards they are, so that they don't end up too close to each other, and with the knob don't end up with too small spaces being left and too many holes. This is going to cause a few sharper edges, and that we don't really want. So the one top from the radius or the circle, we're going to take a minimum diameter, in this case 37 millimeters, on the top 37 meters. Now this stage we need to also mark the same with and then the same with that one, and the middle out, this one's going to be 30 meters. Now this stage, you can see how handy the paper diagrams are beforehand, because I don't have this below moving missing. Okay, so now I've got the whole diagram drawn on the piece of wood here. So what I'm going to do now is still keep these 2 pieces of plywood together. I haven't glued them yet, so what I'm going to do now is I'm first going to drill out the 3 smaller pieces where the cutout parts would be. Thereafter, drill out the middle part. Well, this is what it looks like after the holes were drilled. Now what I did is I basically drilled these 3 smaller ones out with a circular saw like this, similar to this. This is the size of the smaller holes that I drilled. this is the one I then drilled afterwards in the middle for the center hole, which is like that. Now, when I did that, I then put glue in between the two layers and I reattached the screws so that these two layers are then now solidly together. Then at the bottom, I only countersunk a little bit of a hole for a T-nut that I punched in from the bottom. And this is for an M6 bolt. Now, the main idea is I took one of these little cutouts, the smaller ones, and I took a longer M6 bolt. I countersunk a hole in the top, put in some epoxy glue, and then punched the bolt in there so that this is solidly attached. Now, the idea then is to then take a cutout of this size, same as the bigger one, from another piece of wood, the one that you want to make the knob out of. Put your attachment, the bolt through this one, and then due to the T-nut from the bottom, you can attach this in the middle, like so. Attach it so that it's solid, and then using the smallest hole saw in the drill press, you can then, whichever size you desire, cut them out. Now I did make sure that this is small enough so that it misses, so that this drill bit or the circular saw would not catch the center part while you're drilling. Now you'll see there's a lot of holes, and I drew the darker marks on the piece of wood as well. Now the main idea is so that you can take your bolt basically, or your future knob piece of wood, only make one mark on it like this. Now the idea is, depending on how many gaps or holes you want to drill in the side of it, you then basically, let's say for instance the top hole is for the 3, 4, 5 and 6. This is a common hole. If you want to drill any one of them, let's say you want to drill 6 holes on the side of this, and then just the next marking that says 6 after the top common one, you put those 2 marks in line like that. You clamp this down, and you then with the drill press drill the top hole, and then after every hole that's or gap that's drilled, you just move the mark along up until the next one that says 6 like this. So you line them up, lock this again, and you drill the next one on top, and then so forth and so forth. From at all those number 6s, you then bring the 2 marks in line, drill the holes up until the mark ends up at your top one, which would be then the last hole that's drilled. And then inside the hole, I also marked the size or the amount of holes that the hole is destined for. Like the top one is for 5 and 6 hole jigs, the side one is for 4 holes, and the side for 3 holes. So let's take this to the drill press, and then let's see how this works out. Let's see how accurately this is drilled. Well, that worked out very well. Obviously, I had to tighten the knob quite hard so that the knob doesn't turn with the saw blade. But other than that, it was quite easy to use. Let's take it out. It looks quite even. It's got a few of a bit of rough edges, but that's fine. I can basically just take a piece of sanding paper and just sand a bit of the rough edges away. The other option is also, of course, to use a router and with a round a bit and smooth the edges over, which would work great either way. Now, I'm really happy about the way this came out. Now, this will make a great knob. In the middle, you can put like a bolt or a knob, or not a knob, a nut, basically, or a T-nut, whichever you prefer. You can also use this little tool here to punch a hexagon hole for the nut or for the head of a bolt, which is also very handy. Well, what else can I say about this? This came out really well. I'm quite happy with it. It feels nice in the hand. It looks very even. Now the lines, it lined up very easily with the knob. Even when the lines are not at the edge of the circle and there's a bit of a gap in between, it was very easy to line up. And I was a bit concerned about that, but it turned out it was very easy to line up. You can see it quite well with your eye, and there was no hesitation at all about this at any stage.